Kamito Kezia, the sole irregular male elementalist in the world, was summoned by Greyworth Seal Mize to Aracia Spirit Academy. Here at this academy, maidens of noble families are gathered, trained, and given an elite's education to become elementalists. Kamito accidentally stumbles upon Claire Rouge bathing in the woods. He assures her that he is not into the naked body of a child. She feels insulted because she is actually 16 years old and is going to kill him. Noticing her fire whip and powers, he realizes she is an elementalist. She realized her nudity and lost her focus. He saves her before the tree crushes her. The only reason he is still alive is because he saved her, so she restrained herself. He shows her a letter with a royal seal. He is summoned by Greyworth Seal Mize, the headmistress of the Aracia Spirit Academy that Claire is a student of. Claire is stumped because only princess maidens can become spirit knights. She brings him to a shrine dedicated to the demon slayer, the legendary Holy Sword. The one who defeated the demon lord was Suleiman. She was purifying herself before coming here to make a contract. She needs power. She pulls the sword out of the stone and is about to make a contract with it, but it turns wild and attacks her. She summons her fire spirit, Scarlet, to tame it, but unfortunately, she gets stabbed. Before Claire can meet the same fate, Kamito steps in and chants the lines that would make the sword his spirit. Claire is surprised because not only has he stolen the sword she wants to contract with, but only females can form a contract with a spirit. Kamito knows that there is one man in history to have ever done that, Suleiman. To take responsibility for what he did, Claire wants him to become her contracted spirit. She ties him up with her whip and drags him all the way back to the academy. However, his teasing makes her off guard as he slips away. Outside Greyworth's office, he heard a protest from Sylphid Knight's Captain Ellis Farengart that she was against admitting a man to this place. And then Ellis attacks him first and accuses him of being a pervert. Ellis is forced to restrain herself because Greyworth says so. Greyworth is going to have Kamito transferred to this academy. He wants to know where Rishia Ashdal is, but she is not going to easily answer him. Ellis is tasked with showing him around. He will be in Raven class, the class where troubled and gifted students are put. Claire whips him up for ditching her to go flirt with Ellis. He makes her cry when he teases her pants too much. Since Claire is adamant about making him her contracted spirit, they have to kiss. Now she is flustered. When the teacher arrives, Freya Grandol breaks them up and introduces Kamito to the rest of the class. Some girls are thinking about how cute this normal guy is. They also know about him taming a sealed sword thanks to Claire's blabbermouth. She also told them she had tamed him. He doesn't want to sit with her, but she insists. He is her slave. Rinslet Lorenfrost saves him and insists he wants to sit with her. And then she asks him to be her servant. Rinslet's clumsy maid, Carol Nastastia, tries to stop them but trips. The class is in uproar. It's going to be a long day. Back in his shed, Kamito remembers that Greyworth wants him to participate and win in the blade dance competition. A competition he swore never to enter again. However, she mentioned that the strongest blade dancer, Ren Ashbel, is going to be there with her dark female spirit. Kamito is being told about the essence of this blade dance competition. 5 elementalists are chosen to represent a country, and the winning team will be afforded protection for years by the spirit lords. This academy was established to tutor princess maidens from noble families for that purpose. Kamito knows Freya forgot to say one thing, and that is that the winner of this competition gets to have a wish granted. Rinslet comes to offer some food to him. In exchange, he becomes her slave. Claire happened to have the same idea and saw this. They start insulting each other. Rinslet summons her ice wolf spirit Fenrir. During the fight, Kamito's shed gets burned. Rinslet douses the fire, but overdoes it and destroys it. Ellis and her underlings are not happy to see this and even badmouth their family background. Especially Claire's traitorous sister. Claire does not take that lightly, and she challenges them to a duel. Kamito is brought back to Claire's dorm. He learns she has no roommate as nobody wants to stay with her. She doesn't even have a partner for the blade dance, and as long as she has a powerful spirit, she'll be fine. As she takes the bath, water spirits attack her. Kamito saves her again and believes the spirit authority screwed up, as she mentions this never happened to her before. So over dinner, he asks why she wants a strong spirit so badly. There is someone she wants to see. She shows her crest of a line of fire that belongs to the Duchy of Elstein. They are a famous noble family. An incident 4 years ago by Rubia Elstein brought about their downfall. She is Claire's sister, whom she wants to see so that she can ask herself what really happened, as she was believed to have caused the Ordesia Empire to undergo an unparalleled disaster. Camito remembers that he has also been trying to search for someone important for the last 3 years. It makes them very similar. Claire and Camito enter the duel arena and meet up with Rinslet. Ellis and her girls are also there. Ellis summons her eagle spirit, Simorg. Camito summons his elemental Wath, but the sword turns out to be a little dagger. His summoning skills have been rusty, but he surprised himself too when he tamed that holy sword. Camito takes on Ellis while the rest back him up. Ellis shows her elemental Wath. Ray Hawk and Camito note how beautiful she is. Claire and Rinslet wanted to help, but got in each other's way. The match is interrupted when a demon spirit descends. Rashia misses Camito, but thinks he is not his true self. She will make him remember. Claire jumped in alone with the intention of making a contract with it. Eventually, the spirit overpowers Claire until she is saved by the sacrifice of her contract spirit, Scarlet. After the death of her contracted spirit, Claire lost her last mental support and was left at the mercy of the demon spirit. Camito then jumps in and draws out the power of his recently contracted spirit, although with initial difficulty. He then quickly defeats the demon spirit, mentally declaring that he is Ren Ashbel, the strongest blade dancer, in order to psyche himself up. However, Claire scolds him for being late in his rescue due to Scarlet's death. Camito then proceeds to collapse from overuse of divine power. A flashbacks showing Camito being taken in, trained as an assassin, his meeting with Rashia, the destruction of the assassin institution, and then as Ren Ashbel. He then woke up to find a naked, knee-socked girl in bed with him, who introduced herself as EST, addressing Camito as Master. Camito then asks that EST change the way she addresses him, resulting in them cycling through a couple of titles before they settled on just his name with no honorifics. Then Camito ordered EST to hide, as someone was about to enter the room. EST hid under the covers of the blanket as Rinslet and Carol entered the room. Rinslet becomes jealous and asks Camito why there is a young, cute girl in bed with him. After a failed attempt to explain why EST is in bed with Camito, Rinslet attacked Camito, only to be stopped by EST, who revealed herself to be the Sword Spirit, the Demon Slayer. EST and Camito then walk around the academy, and EST talks about her past as a sealed sword and why she contracted with Camito. Ellis arrives, then misunderstands the situation until EST deflects her sword and clears up another misunderstanding. Camito and Ellis then talk, and then Camito goes to seek out Claire. Claire is walking in the town when she is approached by a cloaked girl. The cloaked girl reveals herself to be Rashia and then offers Claire a berserk spirit, which she accepts. Rubia was believed to have betrayed the Fire Spirit King 4 years ago, taken Levitane, the strongest flame spirit, and disappeared. The furious Fire Spirit King burned the lands of the Ordesia Empire, starting with the Duchy of Elstein. The citizens cursed her and nicknamed her the Calamity Queen. Claire is fighting alone among the other blade dancers. There are no prizes for guessing she is weak. When her opponents badmouth Rubia, she unleashes her mad spirit. This is the mad form of Scarlet, and as EST explains, such a high-ranking spirit won't die easily, as it just loses its ability to manifest itself temporarily. Although the mad spirit possessing it has a low ranking, it is possessing other spirits and making them lose their reasoning ability. They are causing destruction as the crowd evacuates the arena. Camito has EST as his sword as he goes to snap Claire out. Is this the power she wants? She chides him like he would understand and whips him. And then she feels sorry about it because he was supposed to dodge it. He explains Scarlet's case. She is relieved that Scarlet is still alive, so the first thing to get her back is to burn her spirit seal before Camito defeats Scarlet with his advanced moves. Then Rashia pops up, and Camito is just so flabbergasted to see her. She warns him that their spirit is awakening. As she disappears, Camito believes she is trying to grant his wish. Something no one would ever desire. Could it be his punishment? The golem spirit runs havoc, and now it's Camito's turn to space out. Now it's Claire's turn to bring him back, so she asks for some details about Rashia. She was his contracted spirit, and it is his fault that this mess came about. Claire couldn't care about all that because a minute ago he was, like, promising the heavens that he would be her contracted spirit. To really snap him out, she kisses him. Kamito easily defeats the golem with his signature moves as Ren, which is why he is worthy of the title of Best Blade Dancer. Claire sees the familiarity in his moves. History repeats itself as he passes out. 3 years ago, Fina was in trouble fighting off tree spirits. Kamito became the hero and saved her. However, she recognizes his elemental waff, the same as Ren. She felt her world crashing down because she always thought Ren was a girl, and for a guy to cross-dress as one, it's like a disgrace to blade dance. As a thank you for saving her, she promises to keep it a secret. Before they part, she learns his real name and hopes they can meet again. He says they will, but after the blade dance is over, and now, in present time, Fina has just transferred to Eurasia, happy to have found Ren. Kamito wakes up in bed with EST. As he is not focusing, she steals kisses from him. Kamito and Claire participate in a mock team battle. It's 2 against 5, and Freya doesn't care about that. That's why they should hurry up and find their team members. Claire is cocky and confident that they are enough to win. She is ruining what they actually lost. They lack teamwork, as seen in the other team, as they fight to buy time for their important member to summon up her spell and ultimately defeat them. After the match, Freya noted that Kamito's fighting is somewhat lonely. Rinslet heard about their defeat, and since she is not as honest as usual, Carol blurts out that she wants to join them for lunch. Kamito invites them to join in, thus earning him a kick in the foot from Rinslet. Carol informs of a new transfer student, and this has the other girls really worried. It seems Rinslet doesn't have a team herself. She did, but thanks to her pride and expectations, her teammates left. Now she's alone. So Claire and Rinslet are, as usual, not being honest with themselves. Kamito can tell Rinslet wants to join them and whispers to Claire about this. However, Claire doesn't want her in the team, citing that bad teamwork thingy when they were fighting Alice. However, they know that's not the problem. It has something to do with Kamito. Claire asks if she would like to join her team. Alice interrupts, and since she is flustering and asking him something, they hear other girls talking about how she has fallen from grace with this lewd beast. She wants him to join her team, and Kamito is tempted since she is quite high-ranking. Only the top 3 teams get to enter Blade Dance, and Kamito's team ranking just plunged further after that loss. However, Claire will not allow it, reminding her that he is her contracted spirit. Kamito knows her trauma of being betrayed and turns Ellis down. Greyworth calls for Kamito, and after exchanging pleasantries, she introduces a new transfer student who will study with him in Raven class. Fiona Ray Ordesia is the second crown princess of the Ordesia Empire, and from Kamito's reaction, it looks like he doesn't recognize her. Kamito's team is given a special mission to become her bodyguard. Rishia meets Gio Inzaghi and needs his help to awaken something. He doesn't care less what she does as long as he can prove to be the Demon Lord's true successor. Kamito bows before Fiona, but she explains that she isn't officially a princess anymore. 4 years after that incident with Rubia, Fiona is one of the candidates nominated to be her successor to quell the Fire Spirit King. However, she turned it down, and her existence was erased from the royal family. Thus, she is known as the Lost Queen. The mission Kamito and his team will also have to do is investigate the abandoned mining town of Gad. It seems there aren't mere earthquakes happening in it, but what are believed to be mass weapons of destruction. If the seals on it are fading, then this is where Fina's expertise in using the ritual dance to reseal it comes in handy. This dangerous mission means Kamito's team will get a chance to raise their ranking. He can't decide this on his own and needs to consult Claire. Fina is a little stirred by hearing that name. Freya talks to Greyworth about Fiona cheating to gain entry. However, Greyworth thinks she is worth the trouble and will be good for them. It's the reason she paired him with Kamito. Outside, rumors spread that Kamito had started hitting on the new transfer student. Fiona hits back by flirting with him in front of their eyes. Fiona hints to Kamito about his Ren identity. Although this guy is shocked, he still doesn't remember who she is. So back in Claire's room, Fiona must be purposely pissing her off, commenting on how small it is. Kamito will gladly leave, but Claire sounds desperate to prevent him. All those excuses about cooking and cleaning and the worrying part of the other girls approaching him. Learning that Claire has done that kissing ritual with him, Kamito knows Fiona has become upset. Fiona challenges her to a duel. Not a blade dance, but a cooking duel. Fiona believes she has this in her bag. She cooks a stew. The moment Claire tastes it, she collapses. Fiona believes she has won. So while Claire is out sick, Fiona takes this opportunity to wash Kamito's back in the bathroom. Claire has such sensitive ears that she can hear what is going on because she barges in and is appalled at their activity. She won't lose out and joins in. Claire notices his many back scars, but he brushes them off. When she uses her spirit seal, this irks Fiona. EST then reports a commotion outside. Geo has infiltrated the library and stolen some sealed documents. The Sylphid Knights are defeated, and Ellis is about to meet the same fate, but is saved by Kamito and Claire arriving just in time. Geo wants to be left off tonight since they are so weak that they aren't even worth killing. Ellis warns that he has contracted double spirits and is also another male elementalist. As they chase after him, Kamito clashes swords with him, and to his surprise, Geo can summon many other spirits. Geo says that Suleiman has contracted 72 spirits, so it shouldn't be any surprise. Geo is the Demon Lord's successor. Kamito loses, but thanks to Fiona's distracting attack, Geo now targets her. However, she is so scared that she cannot move. It feels like that day. Kamito moves in to protect her and gets a little wounded. Geo can't believe he protected that trash. Geo escapes as reinforcements arrive, but Fiona passes out. Fiona wakes up fine in bed. She flusters just about thinking Kamito. He wants to talk to her privately. Noticing Claire is outside, she purposely mentions if it is something he doesn't want Claire to know, but Claire barging in to vent her punishment. Kamito takes Fiona and runs. Rinslet sees Kamito and Fiona together, and she is starting to feel angry. Then she sees gloomy Claire. She is bothered that Kamito likes big breasts so much. Desperate enough for her to suck in her pride, she asks Rinslet why her breasts are so small. She is willing to tell her a way to make her breasts grow bigger in exchange for something. In the forest, Kamito asks how Fiona knows his identity. She gives him a few hints, but he still doesn't get it. Finally, after the third big hint, he remembers. She continues to tease him that he is her first love. She transferred to this school after hearing the name of someone familiar stopping a golem spirit. She wanted to use him and planned to threaten to reveal his secret, forcing him to form a team with her. She wants to win Blade Dance to restore her position and honor, especially those who laughed at her. Kamito isn't mad at her for trying to use him. Greyworth has been trying to use him for her means, while Claire and Rinslet are trying to make him their slave. Then here comes Ellis. She is appalled to see them, and Ellis fans the fire by continuing to flirt. Although there are no school regulations on this, Ellis is so bothered and will not allow it. Her underlings had to calm her down instead, as she always acts like this whenever she is with him. They are here as they are on their way to Gad to regain their honor. The stolen documents were about Jormungandr, a sealed spirit in that town. Kamito suggests working together since they've got the same goal. Rinslet tags along with Claire to join Kamito to Gad since this was the deal in exchange for that information. Rinslet meets Fiona for the first time, and you can tell that sparks are going to fly over Kamito. But scheming Fiona is using every opportunity to cling closely to him. Inside the mining town, they hear fighting nearby. Ellis is engaging in a battle with Geo. Ellis is willing to sacrifice her life to defeat him, and although it makes him sweat a little, Kamito won't have it. As the guys clash swords again, this time each sword Geo summons, Kamito easily breaks it. EST is the sword that slew the Demon Lord. Geo doesn't care about Jormungandr or whatever. His only goal is to prove he is the Demon Lord's successor, and he is going to do that by defeating Kamito. Even though the other girls provide backup, Geo is ahead of them. Geo mocks Kamito for having gone weaker, not because he hasn't been in the game for years. This is the reason. Geo targets the girls. Kamito gets in the way to protect them. Fiona can't stand all this and is going to pass judgment on Geo. Using a bloodstone, a pillar of light engulfs him, although he is still alive, and he escapes. Claire then notices something. Fiona's boobs are much smaller. It was to hide bloodstone, which she hopes to use as her trump card in Blade Dance. She is carrying her family heirloom around because, after becoming the Lost Queen, she lost her contracted spirit. This was what she used to cheat and enter the academy. She thought they would accept her as part of the team, but it looks like she's no good. Kamito would accept her because she put her life on the line. She is more than good enough to be their teammate. The cave is slowly rumbling, and it is a sign that Jormungandr is awakening, although Geo has not found the true shrine yet. As Ellis and Rinslet are still injured, the rest make haste there. EST guides the way, as she has been here before. Meanwhile, Geo is back with Rashia, and he blames her, saying that her spirit didn't help. Geo will regret this, but Rashia knows he cannot defeat Kamito, for he is the true successor of the Demon Lord. Outside the shrine, there is a diagram and engraving of elemental lords. One of them is cancelled out, and EST comments that it is Ren, whose existence was erased from history. So Claire and Fina dip into the pool to cleanse themselves. Kamito senses Geo is here and engages him. Kamito senses some of Geo's moves, which are the same as those taught at the school. It seems Geo is the first successful human experiment to revive the Demon Lord. However, Kamito claims he is not a success because all his spirits are sealed spirits, just like Fina's. Therefore, he is a fake and not even an elementalist. Geo just wants to kill him and prove it. He then stabs him in the guts, no big damage though. He also has something similar to Fina's bloodstone. Nebuchadnezzar's power allows him to control many spirits, but still, to Kamito, he is a fake. Kamito has been so talkative. It is because he wants to buy time for the girls. Now they are ready as Fina unleashes her dance ritual to bind and choke Geo. Because his body houses a lot of spirits, they are going berserk now, reacting to her dance. Before they can interrogate him about Jormungandr, Rashia appears. She admits she is trying to revive Jormungandr because of her wish. Kamito will eventually meet her, but not now because he has not awakened yet. Geo still wants to fight, but Rashia calls him a failure who cannot stand up to the real Demon Lord's successor. However, she is willing to try if it has a chance of awakening him. She becomes a sword in Geo's hands as he uses his dirty tactic of aiming for Fina. Again, Kamito uses his body to absorb the darkness. Fina becomes desperate to protect him and orders the Holy Knight Spirit, Georgios. They defeated Geo with their teamwork. The next time Kamito opens his eyes, he is back in bed. He expects EST to be under the blanket again. It is Fina. She needs to do something for him. They need to be touching one another, but it sounded like some excuse. Now that Geo has been handed over to the military and Jormungandr has been resealed, Fina is not going back. She is staying. In a flashback, when Ellis was young, she witnessed a match between her sister and Ren. Her sister lost, and she was so awed by Ren. In the present, Kamito hears Claire and Fina making something in the kitchen. They are making chocolate because the Valentia festival is coming. But Kamito is being such a douche to wonder why the girls are making it, and for whom since the academy only consists of girls. Meanwhile, Freyr reports to Greyworth that murderers are making a comeback since Blade Dance is near, and will try to sell students cursed armament seals. Also, Vulsaria Eva will be returning, and she is the strongest elementalist in the academy. Team Scarlet, consisting of Kamito, Claire, and Fina, faces off against another team and wins with their teamwork. They discuss the next team they will be facing. It should be the third-ranked Ellis team, but since her mates are injured, they may face the second-ranked team, or worse, the best team that belongs to Vulsaria. They stumble upon the team they just beat as they try to provoke Claire and badmouth her sister. Rinslet tells them off about acting like a noble and being faster than them and pointing her arrow before they could move. Rinslet wants to treat them to their victory, but the girls refuse to let her pay for it. Carol reveals that she just wants to eat with them. However, they will have to do this later, as Kamito has extra classes. At class, he sees Ellis taking it too, and he nearly got killed again when he seemingly sneaked up her back. Then she apologizes for this morning after she learned the truth. Ellis starts flustering when he gets close to her to tutor some important points. She likes it, so she makes a date appointment to have him tutor her at a later time. Later, as Kamito and the rest go to meet up with Claire, EST happily holds on to Kamito's hand, making the girls jealous. Carol mentions his other hand is not taken yet, but the girls have their pride and do not take it. In that case, Carol usurps them and holds his other hand. This teaches the girls a big lesson. Kamito sees Claire longingly looking outside a window shop. Rinslet tells him it is her birthday tomorrow. It is the same day as the Valentia festival. At the parfait shop, EST orders a very jumbo-sized parfait because Kamito promised her she could order anything. Kamito sees Ellis walking by outside, and this causes Claire to get jealous. He cares about her too, while reminding him she is on a rival team. He is her slave servant. The waitress who served them, Vivian Melosa, notices they are an interesting bunch and sets her eyes on Claire. So as soon as Camito meets her, they're not heading to the library to study. She requests that he come to her room. She dressed as a maid because her friends tricked her into thinking that men love maids. This is to repay him. However, Camito says he isn't really into maids, and Ellis thinks he prefers a more lewd outfit. She wants him to order her around while pointing a sword at his neck. She needs to learn what being a maid is all about. Camito commends her fine cooking, and then she feeds him. She won't take no for an answer or anything else. Once that is over, she reveals this might be the last time she brings him to her room, as her roommate is coming back and won't let him live if she sees this. She is Valseria, who is also her elder sister. She once adored her and wanted to be like her, but now she feels cold and distant. Ellis invites him to join the Sylphid Knights, and he will be compensated since they're short of manpower after that last incident. Camito can see Ellis trembling as she speaks to him because she is afraid. The reputation of the Sylphid Knights has taken a dive since they failed to capture the assailant, and people don't trust them anymore. And because of that, Camito agrees to help out. So when Camito returns, he thinks he can just tell Claire the truth and everything. Claire's not happy. He just spent time with Ellis. Even worse, he tells her he joined the Sylphid Knights and became their dog. She tells him to get out, and she hates him. She thought he had come back, but it's Fiona. Ellis addresses her Sylphid Knights, and Camito could hear some of them talking behind her back and not paying attention. Before Ellis could introduce him, Valseria waltzes in and badmouths Ellis' failure. She didn't even bat an eyelid to call Sylphid Knight members pawns. Camito didn't like that, and Valseria wants to test him. She just flicked her wrist, and suddenly a wind power just blew everything away, and it even caused a crater. Then she just picks a handful of them to be on her team. In town, Sylphid Knights make their patrol during the Valencia festival. As they break for lunch, some Sylphid Knights hang out with them. Since feeding EST feels like feeding a cute animal, the girls can't help but do so. Camito sees Scarlet and follows her to Claire. She learns he is helping Ellis patrol the town. She becomes mad and sad. Even more when Ellis comes into the picture. She throws the chocolates at him. Meanwhile, those sore loser girls still want to get back at Claire, and this is their chance since she is alone. Vivian offers to sell them something powerful. Meanwhile, each time Valseria thinks about Ren, her heart aches. She has a big grudge against that drag queen. Ellis is conscious that her patrol with Camito looks more like a date. The way she says it out loud may give everyone the wrong impression, especially how they're holding hands. On second thought, she changed her mind, and they continued holding hands. Ellis continues her explanation of how she once admired Valseria. However, after losing to Ren, she changed and started chasing for power. That is why Ellis wants to enter Blade Dance to show her what true strength is and what it means to be a real knight. Camito wonders if she hates Ren. At first she does, but as she watched her throughout the tournament, she became drawn to her. Camito thinks Ren is like any other elementalist, wanting their wish to be granted, but Ellis begs to differ. Her blade dance was nobler than others. It was like she was wielding her sword for others. Camito feels relieved and thanks her. Meanwhile, Claire is captured by Vivian, but she is strong enough to break out of her binds because she is not naive anymore to want such fake powers. Unfortunately, she is set upon by those girls who have been under the control of the cursed seals. As Ellis is about to give Camito her chocolates, several mad spirits cause a rampage. Camito gets a little injured to save a little girl from harm's way. Claire is also here to help out, but before they can do anything, a big spirit, the Silent Fortress, the spirit that belongs to Valseria, blows the mad spirits away and all those unfortunate innocent people in its way. She did not regret it, as she neutralized the threat. She even insults Ellis' view of knightly ideas, which are just mere empty words with no powers to back them. She has no right to call herself a knight. Camito doesn't like it, but he stood no chance against her and got blasted away. Waking up in bed again, he finds Claire's chocolate in his pockets and tastes it. When Claire comes in, he gives her a birthday present and explains that he took up the Sylphid Knight's job to get money to buy her this. She is sorry for jumping to conclusions. Fiona had to break this sorry state to flirt with Camito. She is here to tell them their next opponent for tomorrow's match is Valseria's team. Although injured, Camito still wants to fight, but he figures he needs a long-range fighter for this match. cue Rinslet to come in and offer her help. Camito then begs her to join them. Later, Claire goes to see Ellis in her room, as she is still affected by Vilseria's words. She chides her for being down, and if so, what Vilseria said is true. Mentioning Vilseria, she might be strong, but not invincible, as she lost to Ren. Their goal is to defeat Ren, and they will defeat all those in their way and get their wish. Now join Team Scarlet. But Ellis has her team. Cue for her friends to come in and tell her that they will not be in good health in time. Ellis will break up this team and join Team Scarlet. Meanwhile, Vivian approaches Vilseria. The latter has no intention of becoming her guinea pig experiment. There is some cursed seal placed on her heart, and she will die in a few years, but Vilseria doesn't care as long as she can participate in the upcoming blade dance. However, Vivian can't have her favorite specimen die yet. Ellis tells Camito the good news that she has joined his team, and finally, she gives him her chocolates. In the face-off with Vilseria, Camito has the sense to sit out and trust his girls to do the fight. Oddly for Vilseria, she lets her newly chosen teammates sit out because she believes she herself is good enough to take them all. Vilseria may rue her cockiness because the Team Scarlet girls are getting better at teamwork, with Claire providing to be a good commander, Rinslet freezing her spirit and bringing it down to the ground, and Ellis wind shattering it after Claire's hot temperature melts its structural integrity. Even so, Vilseria can still run her mouth. On the verge of defeat, she will not give up, and this causes the cursed seal to activate. Vilseria is no longer in control over herself and her spirit as they go out of control. Freya wants to call the match off, Greyworth wants it to continue and see what happens. Vilseria's dark aura is absorbing the girl's energy, and Ellis is pretty sad she had to stoop this low to get a cursed seal. And when all the girls get caught in her dark aura, here comes our hero in good timing to free them. Claire scolds him for trying to be reckless despite his injuries. Even so, he won't let Vilseria hurt his teammates. Camito employs his Ren moves, but he cannot be in such a state for long as the pain is getting to him. Fiona uses what is left of her power to heal Camito at the expense of her own energy. Camito and the rest cooperate to take Vilseria down. Up close with her, Camito stabs her heart and vows to save her. With his face this close, Vilseria realizes he looks like Ren. Vilseria regains her control, but suffers another loss. He didn't do it on his own. He had friends and a power the strongest blade dancer didn't have 3 years ago. Although Vivian can't use her favorite specimen for now, she is interested in Camito and plans to use him. Unfortunately for her, Greyworth has found her, and Vivian looks like she is in panic. She was once a student at this academy and failed. Greyworth could tell it was her because her cursed seals were identical when she worked on them as a student. Greyworth, but that dark aura was scary enough to scare Vivian. She became a bloody mess in the end. Greyworth could sense this is what she is doing, and the latter won't let her do as she wishes with Camito. Back home, Camito and the girls have to finish what is left of the chocolates from the festival. Vilseria has opened her eyes after that defeat and apologizes to her sister for everything. She hopes they will win the blade dance. Although the cursed seal in her heart is removed, some circuit in her is destroyed, and she can't summon spirits anymore. Team Scarlet becomes one of the top 3 teams as they begin their journey to the blade dance competition. Claire is glad to have met Camito, while Rashia continues to watch over Camito. Thank you for watching till the end, and don't forget to subscribe.